My name is Alex. I'm 28 years old. This is the story of the day I lost everything and started from zero. I used to have a good job. I worked in an office with a steady salary. I had a small apartment in the city and a few close friends. Life felt normal and safe. But one day, everything changed. It started when the company I worked for had big problems. They said they had to cut costs. I lost my job. At first, I thought I could find a new one quickly, but days turned into weeks and no calls came. Money got tight. I could not pay my rent. Soon, I had to leave my apartment. Losing my home was the hardest part. I felt like I had no place to go. I stayed with different friends, but I felt like a burden. Some stopped answering my calls. I felt alone. The people I thought were close slowly disappeared from my life. Every morning, I woke up with a heavy heart. I asked myself, how did this happen? Why me? I felt scared and lost. I had no idea what to do next. I felt like I was falling into a deep hole with no way out. The days were dark. I cried many times. Sometimes I just sat in the park watching the sky and wondering if things would ever get better. The pain was strong, but something inside me kept moving. A small voice saying, "Don't give up." I want to be honest, those days were some of the worst in my life. I felt weak, broken, and small. But I also learned something important. Even when you lose everything, you still have yourself. And that is the start. This story is not about giving up. It's about finding hope when you think there is none. I want to share with you how I slowly found my way back from the bottom. It was not easy. It took time. But step by step, I began to rebuild my life. If you ever feel lost or broken, remember this: you are not alone. There is always a way to start again. And sometimes starting from zero can be the beginning of something new and beautiful. The days after losing my home and job were the darkest days of my life. I did not just lose things, I lost my hope, my confidence, and my way. I felt empty inside. Every morning, it was harder to get out of bed. I was lonely. My phone stopped ringing. Friends who once talked to me every day now had other lives. Some stopped answering me. I understood why I had nothing to offer, no job, no money, no place to stay. I felt invisible. Each night I lay awake with fear. What if I never find a job? What if I have no home forever? What if no one wants to be my friend? These thoughts made my heart heavy. I tried to hide my pain, but it was always there. Sometimes I cried alone in the dark. The world felt cold and empty. I felt like a failure. I remember one day sitting on a bench in the park looking at people passing by. They had jobs, homes, families. I wanted that too, but it felt so far away. I felt small and weak, like I didn't belong. But in that moment, I also saw something else. A small flower growing through a crack in the concrete. It was tiny, but strong. It pushed up through the hard ground, fighting to live. That flower became a symbol for me. If it could grow in a hard place, maybe I could find a way too. Maybe I had some strength left inside, even if I didn't feel it. I started to think I will try just one small thing today. Maybe look for work again. Maybe talk to one person. That small hope was like a tiny light in the dark. The pain did not go away quickly. Sometimes it felt like it was too much to carry. But that little light kept me moving step by step. I learned that even in the darkest times, it's okay to feel weak and scared. Those feelings are real, but they do not have to stop you. You can carry them and keep moving forward. That was the hardest lesson I learned. Strength is not about never falling. It is about standing up again after you fall. I wanted to give up many times, but I did not. I held on to that small hope and kept trying day by day. After the darkest days, I found a small light inside me. It was not bright at first, but it grew slowly. One day I decided to try again. I started looking for work every morning, even if I felt tired and scared. I sent many job applications. Most of them got no answer. Some said no. Each no hurt, but I kept trying. I remembered the flower in the park, small but strong, and I wanted to be like that. One day, I met a man named Tom at a local food bank. He was kind and listened to my story without judging me. He told me about a free training program to help people find jobs. I did not know if I could do it, but I signed up. The training was hard. I felt nervous in the group, but I met people who understood me. We all had our problems, but we wanted to get better. Tom helped me believe in myself again. Little by little, I learned new skills and started feeling more confident. I began waking up with hope instead of fear. The small light inside me was growing. I also started helping others at the food bank. Giving a little time made me feel useful and strong. It was strange when I helped others, I helped myself too. One day, I got a call for a job interview. My heart was full of hope and fear. I practiced many times. When I went to the interview, I told the truth about my story. The person listened and smiled. A week later, I got the job. It was not a big job, but it was a start. I felt proud and happy. I had a small place to live again and a reason to get up every day. This was the moment I knew, even when everything seems lost, a little hope can change everything. I learned to look for small lights in the darkness, small chances, small friends, small acts of kindness. These lights help me find the way back to life. I am still learning and growing. My story is not perfect, but it is real. And it shows that you do not have to be strong all the time. You only need to keep trying. With my new job and small apartment, I began to rebuild my life step by step. It was not easy. Every day brought new challenges, but I was ready to face them. At work, I had to learn many things. Sometimes I made mistakes, and it felt embarrassing. But I remembered that everyone starts somewhere. I asked questions and worked hard. Slowly, I became better. I also worked on my feelings. I still felt sad sometimes, but I learned to talk about it with new friends and with Tom. They helped me see that it is okay to feel pain. What mattered was that I did not let it stop me. I found small joys in simple things, making a meal, listening to music, or walking in the park. These small moments gave me strength. I started saving money little by little. I dreamed of a better future, but I stayed patient. I learned that building a new life takes time and courage. Sometimes I thought about my old life and the people I lost. I missed them, but I understood that life changes. I needed to move forward, not look back. I learned to forgive myself. Losing everything was not my fault. I had tried my best, and now I had a chance to start fresh. This journey taught me the value of patience, kindness, and hope. Every step, no matter how small, was important. Slowly, I felt proud of how far I had come. I was no longer the person who lost everything. I was someone who was strong enough to start again. The hardest times showed me my true strength. I found courage in the struggle, and that courage gave me a new life. Now looking back, I see how far I have come. The day I lost everything was the hardest day of my life, but it was also the day I started again from zero. I want to share my story to remind you everyone has value and meaning in life. You don't need to do big things to be important. Just being yourself is enough. If you feel lost or broken, today know this: you can find hope inside. Even in the darkest moments, there is a light waiting to shine. My journey was slow and hard, but it showed me one thing. Strength comes from inside, and hope can grow anywhere. I am grateful for every step I took, even the painful ones. They made me who I am today. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it gives you courage to keep moving forward no matter what. Please like and subscribe to the channel to hear more stories of hope and strength. Remember, you are not alone. Your life matters.